We all desire to live good life. Fair enough. But then again, in our quest to live good life, we do upgrade our lifestyles and sometimes go overboard to upgrade in a way that it destroys our money and ultimately it hurts our ability to build wealth. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. 10 lifestyle upgrades which do destroy your ability to build wealth. You are all much welcomed to my channel. My name is Afagza Sifunam. In case you are new here, down there is a button called subscribe. Click that button, subscribe to join this family for you to be catching up on amazing videos each and every day about money, investing, you name it. And while you still at it, drop a like on this video. Thank you for subscribing and also liking this video. And with that, the very first upgrade which can destroy your ability to build wealth is you upgrading to an expensive home quick. Case in point, maybe you've been working for the past 3 years, okay? You've been living in a decent, modest house. Let me use a Kenyan example, even a rental. You've been renting a house of 20k Kenya shillings per month, okay? And then, the moment they increase your salary by maybe 30%, you decide you want a house of 60k. You need a bigger house, bigger living space, more bedrooms. What most people don't think about is that house right from the onset is going to come with more costs because a bigger living room is going to mean bigger and even more cost on furniture. More bedrooms is going to mean you investing in additional beds, closets, you name it. All these are going to go a long way to hurt your ability to build wealth because the truth is that the money you have is kind of constrained. Why not utilize that particular money you have or that particular increase to even pump that money into investments instead of inflating your lifestyle? And then the second life upgrade which does hurt our ability to build wealth is when a person decides to finance an expensive luxury car which truly they can't afford. I was looking at statistics some few weeks back, and it is interesting how in a country like Kenya, for example, a majority of luxury cars on the road are actually financed through loan financing, whether it is loans from Shylocks, whether it is bank financing from different banks, or whichever other way of financing. It kept me asking myself a question. Why should you go and look for a luxury car only to finance it through loans? Basically, you are struggling. And that's the truth. It is better you remain with a modest car, whether it is a Toyota Corolla, whether it is a Honda Fit. Remain with a modest car because it's still assisting you move from one point to another. And when the time is ripe, you made your investments, you are getting amazing interest, you are getting amazing profits from your business, you're getting rental income, then you can finance your new luxury car buying using cash. You don't need to go out there, for example, to get bank asset financing of financing vehicle, and yet you don't have a stable income. You are only relying on employment income maybe, which even is fickle. What is going to happen in case your amazing boss wakes up and fires you tomorrow? You're going to go into a panic. Your car is going to be repossessed. Your survival is going to be in turmoil. That is why it is good to finance a car if you are sure you are financing it in a way that is sustainable and you are not straining yourself to please anybody out there. And then the third upgrade, which typically hurts people's money and ability to build wealth, is eating out on a daily basis. Please note, eating out is not bad. But then again, if you are eating out each and every day, chances are you haven't factored that in your budget. And even just looking at, for example, Kenya statistics, most people in Kenya, they have an average earning of about 70k to 100k Kenya shillings. In fact, the majority are below 50k each and every month. That's just an average because there are those who are on the high end who are skewing their earnings. But majority of Kenyans are earning about average of 50k each and every month. So, assuming you are eating out every day in a decent restaurant, where even the cost of food is maybe 1k Kenya shillings, is going to mean in a month, you just eating out alone, you're going to incur upwards of 23,000 Kenya shillings. Do the math. You can't be working very hard to spend 50% of your monthly income on eating out. That is not a wise approach. Of course, eating out occasionally, maybe once a month or even once a week if it allows for you to do that, that is reasonable. The other time, you can make your own meals at home. That is affordable. Instead of you waking up each and every day, you go to work, maybe you go and eat out. You want to feel like you want to be entertained, you go and eat out. That is going to derail you. That money you are using to eat out, you could use it to invest even and get even incomes, which you could be spending part of those incomes to eat out. That is a more strategic approach. Okay? And then the fourth upgrade, which can also destroy your wealth, is constantly upgrading your phones and gadgets. Guys, more so in our country, I think that's an addiction. Have you ever met someone who is out there constantly saying each and every year, out of the Apple event, sometime end of September, October, they are ready to buy the new devices. I'm going to upgrade from iPhone 11, upgrade from 14, upgrade. I mean, I have 15, 17 came out. I need to get $250,000 to buy the new gadget. What are you doing? What are you chasing? Even most likely, you don't know the functionality of that phone. Why are you chasing to buy a new device to please people out there? And yet, all you are using your phone for is to make phone calls, to utilize message, and maybe social media. What are you chasing? You getting a loan to buy a phone at $250,000 Kenya shillings or even over 100K Kenya shillings is not a wise move because you are chasing a trend which you can't beat. Phone companies out there are upgrading their phones and doing new releases each and every year. Are you going to be spending money you should be spending even on buying land to buy a gadget every year, and yet you ain't financially stable? Guys, I don't know the math people do out there. Please note, I'm not saying you upgrading your devices is something bad. If you can afford it, in fact, upgrade every month. Case in point, if you are making 10 million shillings each and every month, you are free to buy devices and gadgets worth 1 million Kenya shillings every month. No one is gonna think maybe you are spending money on things you shouldn't. By the way, of course, you don't need to rely on people's thoughts, but then again, on your own accountability, you can realize something is off. If you are constantly upgrading devices, chasing technology trends, which you can't beat. And then the fifth thing which is eating into your money is accumulating lots of subscriptions. Have you ever met someone, more so in this technology era and AI era, they have Netflix subscriptions, they have ChatGPT upgrade premium subscription, they have Cloud AI premium subscription, they have like around 20 premium subscriptions. Individually, these things look like small money, charging you 1K, 500, 2K, but when you put them collectively, in case you have 10 premium subscriptions, maybe even in a month, you are paying upwards of 15K Kenya shillings on just subscriptions, which unfortunately, I'm pretty sure over 70% of those subscriptions, you are not using them because you are busy working. You don't even have time to utilize those subscriptions. If that's the case, go to your subscriptions today and cancel a number of them. You don't need to have all of them if they are not necessary for your day-to-day use. Even it is better, for example, to be paying for the day you are using in case they allow you to do that. Solutions like, for example, Canvas allow you to pay for the day. Do that instead of accumulating subscriptions which you are not able to sustain financially. And then the other way or thing which is eating into your money and your ability to build wealth is you jumping on vacations which you can't sustain. Have you ever met someone who is, for example, earning 100K Kenya shillings, but they want to go on vacation every month, vacation worth 60K? What exactly are they chasing? Because yes, I fully agree, and even I made a video explaining that the best form of satisfaction you can have in life is new experiences. That is fair enough. But then again, there is a condition to it. New experiences which you can afford without feeling financial pressure. If you are constantly going on vacations, struggling to finance those vacations, and yet your earning doesn't allow you to go for vacations every month, maybe turn it down. Go for vacation once a year. You can afford that comfortably. After saving for some months, no one is going to ask you questions. No one is giving you pressure to impress people out there. You are giving yourself pressure to go at extravagant vacations, okay? And then the seventh most people do is expanding their wardrobe for status. Just because you saw someone wear a cloth worth 30K Kenya shilling, it doesn't mean you have to copy them. If your budget allows you to wear thrift, wear decent thrift. If your budget allows you to get a new cloth at 5K, wear that. Just because you have a colleague who's wearing maybe a piece of cloth worth 50K Kenya shillings, and they are constantly flipping those pieces of clothes, You don't need to chase and compete with them. Comparison and unhealthy competition is a thief of joy. Have your own trend. Be on your own lane. Stick to what you can afford. As long as you are clean, as long as you are decent, you are not disturbing people's peace because you are looking untidy, you are good to go. You don't need to be chasing the latest fashion and competing with people out there. You don't know where they're getting their money from. You could be thinking you and your colleague are earning the same amount of money. Maybe they inherited richness, okay? Maybe they have side hustles which are paying them excessive amounts of money. Don't run and compete with people whom you can't compete with, okay? And then the eighth thing eating into your money and your ability to build wealth is outsourcing almost all of your household tasks. Let's face it, guys. Of course, in a country like Kenya, we appreciate this. For example, house services, whether you employ a full-time house help, maybe you'll be getting services of maybe Mama Fua coming to wash your clothes occasionally. Maybe you need maybe your cushions or your couches cleaned. You need maybe your walls cleaned. All these are things which you can outsource. Fair enough. The people can assist you do it. But what if each and every week you are paying someone 5 days a week to do these tasks for you, even including cooking for you? It is unfortunate if, for example, in your house, you haven't even cooked for yourself for 3 months. Why should you be outsourcing those things? And every time you outsource them, you have to pay someone. And chances are, maybe you don't do that particular task to the satisfaction which you need. Some of these tasks, do them yourself. More so, if you're at a phase of when you are building financial stability, you're trying to get your finances to be stable. Guys, do these tasks yourself. Maybe outsource 1 or 2, but don't be in a habit of outsourcing everything, because that 1K you are paying someone today, you pay them 1K 5 times a week. In a month, that is 20K. What if you can maybe pay them only 3K or 5K in a month and save 75% of your money? That money, you maybe pump it on investing and end up increasing your income over time. And then the 9th lifestyle upgrade, which you can do that's gonna cause you big problems, is sending your children to schools you cannot comfortably afford. This is another thing which people do out there to impress people. Just to wake up and say, my child schools in a group of schools. My child schools in an international school. What exactly are you chasing? In case you are chasing maybe an international school which charges you $500,000 each and every term, yet your earning is 100K each and every month, what exactly are you chasing? You're getting into many loans to impress people out there. You are having constant headaches because you're not able to meet your financial obligations by you sending a child to a school you can't afford. What people don't realize out here, children embrace what you give them as long as it is coming from a good place. If you send a child to a public school which is decent, or even a private school nearby which is decent, they're going to appreciate. You are giving yourself pressure to try to impress your peers or people out there who don't care. Case in point, take a child to a good, maybe, or an expensive school. Day 1, you tell people, they tell you, oh, amazing, that is great. Okay? Day 2, you are back to default. Who are you impressing? You are straining yourself. So manage that in case that's something which is off in your life. And then the 10th upgrade, which a good number of people out there are culprits for, and it goes a long way in tainting your finances, your money, and your ability to build wealth, is when you upgrade your social circle aspects in a way that's not sustainable. Case in point, if your social circle is spending excessively, just because you have a friend who is spending excessively doesn't mean you also have to partake in that. You can't be in a social setting but hold onto your ground. If someone is, for example, buying the most expensive of alcohol, it doesn't mean you need to partake in that or even buy 2. If your budget, for example, can afford only 2 beers, stick to that. Don't go and compete with someone who's spending 30K in a single social setting, yet your budget allows you to spend 500 Kenya shillings. Stick to your lane. No one is going to judge you. And if they're going to judge you, it means in the first place they don't mean good for you. Simple as that. So don't get into the pressure of forcing yourself to upgrade habits because the circle you are in is executing those habits, or an individual in that particular circle is doing that. At the end, you are the one who's going to suffer. Guys, these are 10 upgrades which people do out there which go a long way in denting their ability to build their wealth. What do you think about this video? I hope you got a few nuggets which you can implement to change how you go about upgrading your lifestyle for you to ensure you are doing it in a sustainable way. Cheers, guys. Look forward to share with you other amazing videos next time. Take care.